Let's go. Test it. Let's go. Welcome everybody to Lakeside Stadium for round 24 of the NPL Victoria men's competition between South Melbourne and Green Gully. It is Stefan Djordjic and Arthur Akratidis here with you on this beautiful Let's go!
As you said, it's an important game, especially for Green Gully Cavaliers, because should they win, they'll still have that chance of trying to break into the top six. And funnily enough, even South Melbourne, if they win and result can go their way and then they can win their last two games, they've even got a slight, very, very slight chance of making the final. So I'm looking forward to it, Stefan. It's one of these cracking games that I'm sure are going to go a long way to seeing how things will pan out for the rest of the season. It's a vital clash.
It very certainly is. As you mentioned, so many teams that are currently at the moment fighting for that sixth spot. Hume City just clinching on to that sixth spot. Dandenong City as well, looking to try and make their mark. Green Gully, St Albans and South Melbourne. It is a big, big battle for that last spot in the finals. Who will get it? We're going to have to wait and see. I'll take you through the starting lineup for South Melbourne. 5 changes for South Melbourne from their clash last week that they had. Lucas Inglese, Braden Spink, Cooper Halfpenny, Campbell Dovison and Alexander Menelau are all out. The starting lineup for South Melbourne is Harvey Lopez in goal. Number 3, Jordan Lampard. Number 4, the captain is back in the lineup, Marko Jankovic. Number 5, Jake Marshall. Number 7, Andy Brennan. Number 10, Ren Nagamatsu. Number 24, Noel Bonada. Number 27, Jack Painter-Andrews. Number 88, Charlie Leach. Number 99, Jack Pope. And he's also back in the lineup, number 15, Yuzo Iwakami. And for Green Gully, 4 changes for them this week from their clash last week. Paul Hodges, Dor Jock, Ryan Inman and Liam Driscoll are all out. In will come Ilian Kiffel, Brandon Kuminau, Gian Inucci and Casper Hallam are all in. The full lineup for Green Gully is number 5, Joshua Heaton. Number 6, Matthew Crooks. Number 10, Gianluca Iannucci. Number 11, Scott Lockhead. Number 16, Joshua Hope. Number 19, Jacob Eliopoulos. Number 21, Declan Wynn. Number 24, Amir Abdullah. Number 25, Ilion Kiffel. Number 1 in goal, Brandon Kuminau. And number 17, also back in the lineup, is Casper Hallam. And already we can see Green Gully looking to try and go early on here on attack, but it's going to be a cracking game here at Lakeside Stadium. Again, both these two teams have a big implication and a lot to fight for here at Lakeside. Both teams hungry to get back on the winners list. Both teams last week underwent 2 draws. South Melbourne, that cracking 1-1 draw that they had against Heidelberg, and then Green Gully, a 2-2 draw against St Albans Dynamo, who are in enormous form, and Green Gully already looking to try and go on the attack here. Ball was in the back, and already Namagatsu kicking it off to Leach. And Gully just going to trade with it. And they're going to go long down the line. Namagatsu, he's fighting for it as well. Had a sensational week he did last week, but Arthur, you've called majority of the South Melbourne games. What a turnaround of a season it's been for them.
Absolutely, and look, they are reaping what they sowed. A lot of youngsters being brought into the side as well, and that's a great thing for the coach, Sinisha, and he's really rejuvenated the squad, and hats off to South Melbourne. And Green Gully have had what we call a bit of an indifferent season, but some good results as they go forward now. Onside, back post is free, and some good defending in the end. Lockhead twisting and turning, good little 1-2. Marshall Jankovic, sorry. He's gone down the line and he's been copped a little knock there. Good to see that Jake Iliopoulos is playing football after some horrendous injuries when he was with Oakley Cannons. Some really bad knee reconstructions and almost he got injured at the start of the year, and we're thinking maybe he had another one, but thank God for him that's not the case, and he's not only playing but he's captain of Green Gully and an absolute brilliant defender is Jacob Iliopoulos, and one of the big reasons why they've done better this season than the last. It's going to finding themselves out at the moment. South Melbourne now, Brennan. Bit of solid there again. Big numbers in the back here. South Melbourne try to go forward, and good tackle there. And offside flag has gone up, and rightly so. And in the end, it was Jake Pope offside. And, chance for Gully to go forward.
Our head referee here is Yanni Milides. He'll be conducting all the traffic here at Lakeside Stadium. It'll be a very interesting matchup between these two. Very close on paper. So it'll be exciting to see how both of them fare. So Green Gully to throw it in on that far side. Suffered a 2-2 draw last week to St Albans Dynamo. Dynamo, who have been in phenomenal form as of late, picking up. It all started back when they had that 3-2 victory against the Oakley Cannons way back when. And they have been on a storm ever since. They're going to take on the Preston Lions as well at the same time as this game is happening and unfolding. Also on the NPL Victoria YouTube channel. So a free kick here for South Melbourne. South have the numbers ahead of the football. This is very often the end that they are kicking the most of their goals. It was that heritage listed club in the back, and already ball was headed away by Marshall. Gully going to put some pressure here as well. Lockhead was the last to touch it, but instead it will actually be Green Gully's ball. Referee saw otherwise. This Green Gully team, who has been finding their rhythm in the past couple of weeks, definitely picking up steam, so it'll be exciting to see how they go against this South Melbourne team, who have also picked up a lot of steam. Brennan to try and cross it in. He's actually going to fumble over the signage. And already South Melbourne getting a little bit itchy already. Hope was in there. He went and got brought down to the deck. So both teams just going to shake off a little bit of cobwebs here. Already 5 minutes have elapsed. And it's definitely going to be an exciting game here. Good to see some fans out in the pavilion on that far side. I know, Arthur, you've probably hung out at that pavilion quite a few times maybe. I'm not too sure.
To be honest with you, my playing days for South was at the old Middle Park, which was a little more compact than this. Probably hold the same, a little bit less people, but 12,000 or 13,000 capacity. But it was a magic ground. I remember some huge crowds there, and I've seen some big crowds here too back in the 90s. But unfortunately, the numbers aren't here today. I mean, I'd be lucky if we've got 200 plus here. And a spectacular day for football. And there's only 2 games on today, as you said, as Green Gully go forward. Ball into the box, the swiping there, the shot over the bar. And chance gone begging for Gully. And in the end, I think it was Hope. No, it wasn't. It was Win that missed that shot. A good ball and a swipe of the ball there, and in the end, maybe should have done better with that. Brennan. And that looked like a south throw to me there, but Win on the ball. The ball across. Chance now for Gully to try and find a way forward. Some defending there by Bernardo, of all people. Jordan Lampard, he's had a solid last few weeks himself. And obviously, probably the best player in the team is that man in goals, Javi Lopez. Ball forward. Chance now for Green Gully to try and open a way here. Lockhead. Still there with Lockhead. He's put it in the back post. Up into a danger zone here. And Lockhead again. Win. And shot going well wide there. Stefan, what do you think so far after we've been playing just on 10 minutes?
So far, very even here at Lakeside. Green Gully, over the last 2 or so minutes, have definitely put the gas straight down to the pedal. And they've definitely been the ones that have been the aggressor thus far. Ball brought down to the deck, and the referee, Yanni Maladis, calling that one. But it has been Green Gully who've definitely been on the full-blown attack over the last couple minutes or so. South Melbourne doing a fair bit of defending at the moment. Ball has been in that danger zone, as you mentioned previously, Arthur, whenever that ball's been booted up in the air. Inside the box of South Melbourne. Giving Javi Lopez all the work to do. And he will be the one to take the free kick. The Sun here over our right shoulder, over the city end of the pitch, and already South are going to look to try and attack here. Bonardo, who was one-on-one with Crooks, once again going into the signage. All these players, by all means, not stopping and wanting every bit of possession. It will be Gully's ball, however, on that far side. Will be thrown forwards. It was Lampard in there. Pope, who's also back in the lineup this week. We're going to just wait for the official verdict, but could possibly be a free kick coming on here for Green Gully. And the Gully chance breaking away in the pavilion. The other game happening, as I mentioned, in the 9th minute at Churchill Reserve between St Albans Dynamo and Preston Lions. Another game as Dynamo also making their bid for that 6th spot as well. The last spot to get into the finals and squeak in. Preston sitting 5th at the moment. Only a couple points clear of Hume City. A win for them will certainly lock them into the finals, as we are closing in after this round. Only 2 more rounds to go. What a quick season it has been. But it will be exciting to see who will be the champion of the 2025 season. Koeman out to take the free kick here for Gully. This is the 59th meeting between these two. Their first meeting going way back in 1980 at Middle Park, where you played at, Arthur. That game was won by South, a 1-0 victory. Kiffle playing it off to Abdallah. And instead, the possession trading all the way back off. Lockhead managing to be the one to retain the possession. Here's Kiffle with a header forwards off to Win. Back off once again to Kiffle. Kiffle going to play beautiful ball forwards off to Win. And South managing to pick apart that one. Can South go on the counter? And not quite. But so far, still 0-0 here. Closing into the first couple 15 minutes here. And it is getting quite exciting. Who will be the first team to score here, you think, Arthur?
Well, no one's really had a clear chance on goal. Green Gully have been probably marginally better. As Wine is taking the throw. Painter Andrews. The referee's gone the opposite way to the linesman. And the linesman obviously saw something we didn't. Long throw. And Green Gully trying to somehow find a way. Deep ball into the box. Nagamitsu trying to get his body on the line there. And South Melbourne going forward now in danger zone. Good goalkeeping. And somehow the ball spilled out and still free kick there to Kiffy. But good goalkeeping there by Brandon Camiano. Had it been a little bit closer to the South Melbourne play, it could have been 1-0. But like I said, good goalkeeping and the referee allowed play. There was no free kick either side. Brennan. Good defending there to clear away. And again, the ball's bounced back across by Leach. Deep ball, Brennan. Great control. Painter Andrews. Into the box and headed away to safety.
So South doing a little bit of attacking here in their front forward half. Front forward third, I should say, correction. Both the teams definitely have settled into this game thus far. Iwakami to throw it in. And when most of the players are set, they're set to be well deep inside the box. Could we be seeing a little bit of a signature Maxi Mikkola long throw? You bet we are. Ball straight in the box. It was Heaton who rose up for Gully, managing to header it away. And it's going to be South yet again to try and gamble with another opportunity. Ball back off to Lampard. Plays it off to the captain, Marko Jankovic, who's back in the lineup this week. South on that far side. Just going to progress slowly and ran out of space there, they did. And we're going to have, I believe, a corner coming up here for South Melbourne. Some of the players a little bit confused with what's going on there, and it will be Yuzo Iwakami to take that corner. So this is a good opportunity here for South to try and knock something in after the opening couple of minutes were dominated by Green Gully. Heaton once again managing to header it away. Instead, it's Andy Brennan with the possession, who's being pressured up very heavily by Scott Lockhead. And it is Lockhead who will prevail with the possession. However, he's going to kick it straight into the feet of Jack Pope. Jack Pope in the right place at the right time. Painter Andrews progresses it forwards to Noel Bernarda. Bernarda will try and cross it inside the box. The ball just going to be in the middle of the air here. Who will prevail? And it will be Gully's free kick here. Ball was airborne for majority of that play. It was Scott Lockhead who copped the brute force of that one. My correction, it was actually Casper Hallam. Koeman out. Going to go to that far side, targeting Abdallah. Abdallah, who hasn't really been targeted as much in the early stages of this one. 20 minutes in, normally he's the main guy that Green Gully tend to go to, the former Hume City player. The second highest goal scorer at Hume last year, behind Lloyd Isgrove, of course. Their star player there, making the transition to Green Gully this year. And boy, has he made a massive impact already this year. Amir Abdallah, he's had 10 goals, closing in on what he had last year. Ball going to be airborne yet again, headed up and down. What can Gully do on this occasion? Hallam to try a turnaround kick, and a beautiful save there by Harvey Lopez in goal, diving and throwing his body. And a beautiful save indeed. And it will be a corner here for Green Gully. Terrific goal there. Terrific goalkeeping there by Harvey Lopez. Former Bentley Greens player back in 2021. He's been quite the important figure here at Lakeside Stadium. So it will be Abdallah to take this corner here for Gully. And faked out the entire team here. And another shot going well over the bar, hitting the shot put netting. And the scores still remain 0-0 here. But Arthur, what have your initial thoughts been on this one here?
Well, we've seen a bit of end-to-end action, so the game's certainly not dull. And just that's probably the clearest chance at good shot there and forcing a safe save, as we could say. I mean, if that's possible. And this man, Brennan's done quite well early on. And that man there, Eliopoulos, quality defender. Jake Eliopoulos, smart play there, scanned and thought I better clear it away to safety. Young man got married last year. Congratulations to the man. Now this man here has taken over, as you said, Max Mikkela's long throw. Yuzo Iwakami. Long throw by Iwakami. Danger area. And almost a header across, but easily mopped up there by Kuminao. Good work there by Leach. He's done well. But Nagamatsu a bit flat-footed there. Has come into the South Melbourne side with a bit of a reputation. He's done quite well since he's been there. The ball being thumped forward. The goalkeeper stayed on his line. And he's got the ball back with a easy header there. Heaton. Ball forward. Marshall. Lopez. There's the sun setting in the background there. The city side goal. South Melbourne trying to find a way, but the numbers are back there for Green Gully. Very well drilled, it seems. South Melbourne now trying to switch play. Lampard plays it wide. Bernarda in the box. Leach. And it's a penalty! It's been given! Oh, my Lord. Wasn't any hesitation there. And the goalkeeper, Kuminao, is complaining. But, look, I've got to be honest with you. It was pretty instant by the referee given the penalty. Didn't have to think about it too much. So, love to see it on replay. And there's still talking there with the referee and the defender. Jacob Iliopoulos not very happy. And look, what can we say? A vital time in the game. 25th minute. And that man, Bernarda, to take the penalty. No, he's given it to Nagamatsu. Nagamatsu already has a goal for South Melbourne as he walks up to the spot. Kuminao against Nagamatsu. Nagamatsu taking the run up. Nagamatsu! 1-0. And Brandon Kuminao went the right way, the youngster, and stretched out. And I tell you what, he wasn't far away there. South Melbourne 1-0.
Now, what an exciting start as well. Ren Nagamatsu, that's his second goal ever since joining South Melbourne, who played in the 5th tier in Japan, also playing in the Emperor's Cup as well. Former Eastern Lions player in VPL 1, now making his statement here at South Melbourne. And an exciting one at that, and you're 100% right there, Arthur. Kuminao was on the complete stretch, gets the right side, but on the complete stretch, couldn't quite get his fingertips enough on the ball. And just like that, South Melbourne taking a 1-0 lead here at Lakeside Stadium. 25 minutes in this one, just a little bit more, and South are the first to blink. Exciting stuff if you are a South Melbourne Hellas fan. A dream start for them considering the horrors that they had in the first half of the season. Had 2 wins in the opening 2 rounds, then basically forgot what the taste of winning was like. And now this second half of the season has been very much rejuvenated. A completely different South Melbourne team ever since appointing their new head coach, Sinisa Kohazdic. Saying goodbye to their former head coach, Esteban Quintas. And Sinisa Kohazdic has definitely proven his point as why he probably is the best fit for them. A new light for South Melbourne. Definitely showing why. Could South be on their way to possibly somehow coming back and making a finals appearance? They need all their cards to fall in the right place. They need everyone else around them to not perform well. Here's Declan Wynn ahead of the football. Didn't have anyone else along up front with him. A little bit rushed as well when he took that one, Declan Wynn. He had a phenomenal game last week against St Albans Dynamo. Did quite a lot of the work defending in that back third. One of their key defenders for Green Gully, Declan Wynn. South African, was born in Johannesburg. Actually also played in MLS Colorado. And the way the things stand as well at the other game, it is a 1-0 lead to the Preston Lions at Churchill Reserve against St Albans Dynamo. Could this be another little attack here? Good little control there by Jack Pope. Going to send it, and once again, only just flying over the crossbar, Red Nagamatsu. He's keen for another one. And only just went over the crossbar. What an exciting goal that would have been, Arthur.
I'll tell you what, some good work there by Leach to get the ball to Nagamatsu, and in the end, just over the bar. Kifi plays the wing. Hallam trying to get past his man and not really finding much love there. As we said, in the end, long ball forward. The goalkeeper's way away from his goal. He's done well to header the ball away. Good sweeping there. Still a long way to go in that game. And Francis scoring the goal for Preston in the 12th minute. We've been playing 31 minutes here at Bob Janes Stadium, the former great ground of South Melbourne. And I tell you what, almost found out. Brandon Camiano scrambling there, almost got beaten on the near post. Lucky for him. And trying to play the ball out of the back, and they're having a lot of trouble doing so. Cleared away by Eliopoulos. Green Gully, can they get something now from their attack? They're not really finding the avenues that they did early on in the game. Some good midfield battles here at the moment. Nagamatsu gets the throw. No, he doesn't. It's been given to Green Gully. As the artificial light slowly starts taking over here at Lakeside Oval. Be interesting to see when the Australian Championships occur here in October, what kind of a crowd we're going to see when South Melbourne play against their old foe in Sydney Olympic. Green Gully, chance now. Ball played wide and claims for a penalty. And tell you what, no. Stefan says no.
Yeah, I saw that. I don't think that was a penalty. Definitely, it was Declan Wynn who definitely tripped up over his own footing inside the box. So I definitely saw, but I'm not the referee, so I'm not the one who's calling the shots, Arthur. But from my perspective, at least, I don't think I'd call that one a penalty. Definitely saw Declan Wynn fumble over his own footing. As you mentioned, Arthur, obviously the Australian Championship, that will be kicking off later on in the year. As you mentioned, it'll be interesting to see what kind of atmosphere there will be here at Lakeside Stadium, South Melbourne, playing Sydney Olympic FC, who are currently 6th in the NPL New South Wales competition. That game will take place on Friday, the 10th of October, to kick off the new era of football in Australia. Already 3 teams from the NPL Victoria confirmed for that. South Melbourne, Preston Lions and Avondale. All confirmed as the foundation clubs. One team will yet to be confirmed as well. So as we wait here for Declan Wynn, who's down inside the box. This is the 59th meeting between these two sides. South leads the head-to-head, 28 wins. It's only just a 16 for Green Gully. Well, they've had 14 draws in their rivalry that they've had. As I mentioned, back in 1980, the first match that took place at Middle Park. On October the 26th, it was South Melbourne who got that game in a 1-0 victory. As we can just slowly see Declan Wynn making his way off the pitch. Hopefully he is all right. Again, did trip over the ball. However, the Green Gully players did make their plea for trying to signal for somewhat of a penalty, but the way that it looked, it definitely wasn't. And we are going to have a substitution here to replace Declan Wynn. And the first substitution, and it will be Paul Hodges, who will be coming on to replace Declan Wynn. Paul Hodges, who did make the start last week against St Albans Dynamo, who was in the engine room for that one, played quite a strong, solid game in the engine room for Gully. Let's see if he can try and replicate things. Definitely provided a lot of opportunities for Gully to try and attack. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of impact he can make coming on for Gully, who are down 1-0 after that penalty from Ren Nagamatsu. At the moment, it's South who have a strong grip of this one. Crooks, who's going to turn around, kick it straight into the body of Noel Bonata. Leach. And it was Eliopoulos managing to clear away. Here's Abdallah trying to close in on Marshall. And already, ball just being traded around with possession. Ball going to work its way back into the back third for Marshall. Here's Painter Andrews. Also, another one of South Melbourne's strong defensive players. Ball going to go forwards to Pope, who does have quite a good touch. Plays it over his defender in Crooks. However, it won't be anything of that one. Possession just trading here at the moment between these two sides. Could this be a chance? Kumanau coming well outside the box here, bringing down Ren Nagamatsu. And Yanni Malides seeing otherwise, but Arthur, I'm pretty certain the one before was a penalty. I believe that one probably should have been a penalty, Arthur.
Tell you what, I had a look at the previous penalty, which hit Eliopoulos' hand as South Melbourne goes forward. And ball into the box, slipping over. And I had a look at that, and very unlucky, that penalty, but because Eliopoulos' hand was away from his body, but, you know, there was no way known he could have taken his hand away from the shot hitting his hand. But that looked a lot more clearer, as you said, to me, as a penalty than the last one. So the referee's the man out there, not us, and we have to respect what he says. South Melbourne causing a little bit more fight here. Some trouble for the Cavaliers. Not really doing enough there was NPLMVIC. Needs to get into this game. Iliopoulos, headers away. Lockhead. Hallam couldn't get there. And all of a sudden, South Melbourne have spaces everywhere. Chance now, going forward, slipping over. There must be a bit of dew on the park. Chance now for Green Gully. Good ball in the box. Chance now, way to safety. Only just. It was Brennan clearing away. Oh, that was a bit of a loose throw there. Ball played deep in. Eaton. Referee's allowed play on. Good call. Late challenge. Purely legal. What can they do now? Deep ball into the box. Painter Andrews is there. And well, just about referee has given a Green Gully throw. I've had a few messages from some people watching the game. A big hello to Leon Anazakis, who sends a great message watching the game from afar. Father, a former South Melbourne player himself. Cheerio to them. Deep ball into the box now. Danger. And offside flag up. Stefan, it's still Green Gully trying, but can't seem to find the gaps.
Yeah, definitely right. You can see why South Melbourne have such a strong defence right now with some of their players. Obviously, Marko Jankovic and Jake Marshall in the back, along too with their goalkeeper. I mean, the best player in the team without a shadow of a doubt, Harvey Lopez, who is just a brick wall in that goal. You virtually cannot get the ball past him. Along too with a whole bunch of other players as well. Jordan Lampard again back in the lineup this week, and Jack Painter Andrews. So many strong players in the back third for South Melbourne, and you can see that Green Gully is struggling, but all it takes is one chance and you just never know what might transpire. Could this be a chance here for Gully? And not quite on that occasion. I want to give a quick shout out as well to one of my good friends who's actually working, one of the security guards here for Kit Protection Services, one of my good friends, Ghazi, who's not here right now, probably watching this game in Geelong, so shout out to him and all his other mates as well. I know quite a few of them here, so shout out to them. Do a phenomenal job, but South, though, definitely in control here. Here's Brennan. Again, another big key figure as well in the blue and white. Gully going to go forwards. Hope, who had a phenomenal game last week as well. Here's Kiffle. Thought about the pass. Kiffle going to go around, and what a goal for Ilion Kiffle. His third goal of the season. And talk about big-time goals. The equaliser is there. And it doesn't get any bigger than that. What a goal, Arthur.
And I just said he needs to get into the game, and what a way to make an entrance. Fantastic stuff there by Ilion Kiffle. And what a way to equalise here at a time of the game that's just before half-time, and pretty much what the doctor ordered for Green Gully. And now South Melbourne, who have had the bulk of the possession in the last 10 or so minutes, find themselves even Stevens here at Bob Jones Stadium. Well and truly, quite exciting game at the moment. Gaps appearing everywhere for both sides. Bit of slipping and sliding too, a bit of dew on the pitch. Brennan is running. Ball into the box, headed away to safety. Still Brennan. He's done well. And lost the ball. Maybe had to play it earlier. Good work there by Marshall. Always solid in the defensive lines for South Melbourne. Got chance now for Painter Andrews. He's played the ball early, and a good one at that. Twisting and turning, corner ball. Dangerous times again. What can South Melbourne do now? What a way to go into the half if they can get one here before half time. We've played 44 and a half minutes. And a very entertaining game here. Corner to be taken by Iwakami. Deep ball. No one there for South. Scissor kick gone wrong. And all of a sudden, Green Gully go forward. The goal scorer. Not the best ball. It was like a bit of a hope and chance now again. Green Gully not giving up. And still in play, and somehow the referee has called 4 minutes of added time. I tell you what, still plenty of time left. The injury to Wynn. And the chance now to take stock here. Lopez calls the troops to go forward. Long clearance, headed away. That calls for a handball. Still there for hope. Twisting and turning. What can they do before half-time here? Can they get another one? Good ball into the box. No one there for Green Gully. Stefan, it's been entertaining.
It definitely has here, Arthur, indeed. What can Green Gully do? Could they get one last kick before half-time? Here's Hallam going to try and thread the needle inside here. Could this be one for Green Gully? Harvey Lopez was all up in the air, not allowing for that ball to go past him. Bernarda going to try and trickle the ball forwards here. He's actually being held there by Eliopoulos, the former Oakley Cannon. Now in the green and white. Ball going to be played onto the near side of the pitch here to Brennan. Kiffle intercepting him well. And you can just tell the urgency between the two teams out there. You can tell who wants it. And they both want it. Abdallah going to try and pursue the ball, but he couldn't quite. And in the meantime as well, it is a 2-0 lead to Preston Lions at Churchill Reserve. It was a goal only moments ago by Leighton Brooks, giving them a 2-0 lead. So Luke Francis kicking the goal, the opener actually for Preston Lions, and then Leighton Brooks kicking the second. So a 2-0 lead at Churchill Reserve on the other consecutive stream between St Albans Dynamo and the Preston Lions. However, here at Lakeside, we are level pegging, as Arthur said. We are even Stevens here between Green Gully and South Melbourne. One apiece. There was a penalty by Ren Nagamatsu, and then a curler, a beautiful goal by Elion Kiffel with the equaliser. Here's Gully now. And a shot from well beyond range there by Scott Lockhead. No intention of that one going anywhere close to the goal. An exciting first half it has been indeed for both of these two sides. And you can tell they want it badly to try and get that last spot and punch their ticket back into the finals. For South, would it be a miracle? A massive turnaround for them for season. Ball played on that far side. So it will be South Melbourne's ball. Let's see what they can do in the dying stages of this first half. Here's Bernarda, who's got Crooks one-on-one. And a try somewhat of a cross inside the box. He was unsuccessful in doing so. Brandon Koeman out. He was definitely had his work cut out for him in the goal. Almost saved that penalty. And he's had a whole raft of goals coming his way, and that will be the first half here at Lakeside Stadium. A very, very exciting one indeed. It is a 1-1 scoreline as we go into half-time. Plenty more football still to come. If that first half was anything to go, it's definitely going to be one exciting second half here at Lakeside Stadium. At the conclusion of that one, it is South Melbourne 1, Green Gully 1.
Let's go!
Welcome back, everybody, to Lakeside Stadium here in round 24 of the NPL Victoria men's competition. As we get ready for second half action to get underway here between these two sides. It was a very, very exciting first half from both of these two sides, I should say. South Melbourne, obviously, with the opener. If you missed it, a penalty given to Ren Nagamatsu. On full stretch, he had Brandon Koeman out. They went up 1-0, and then with the reply was Elion Kiffel managing to wrap the ball around, completely around Harvey Lopez. It was an unbelievable goal indeed from just outside the box, managing to curl it and put in the equaliser for Green Gully. But we are going to have a substitution to start this second half. And off will come Yuzo Iwakami. On will come Alexander Menelau, who did make the start last week against Heidelberg United. On he will come to start off this second half against Yuzo Iwakami. Yuzo Iwakami, who did have a fair bit of the touch of the football in that first half, but didn't quite make that major big of an impact. However, good to see him back in the lineup, though, the former Melbourne Victory player. Thank you very much, Arthur. Also played in the 7th tier in Japan for Spirio Johoko. As the second half will commence, it has been a beautiful afternoon and evening here thus far at Lakeside Stadium. The 59th meeting between these two sides, and already Green Gully, straight off the whistle, are going to look to try and go on the attack, and it is Marshall managing to kick that one out of harm's way. Last time out that these two teams played, it was Green Gully who did get the win back in round 11, a 1-0 win on Friday the 25th of April on Anzac Day, a 1-0 victory for Green Gully on Arthur Akratidis' birthday, as a fun fact. It was actually Paul Hodges who was the only goal scorer in that one. He was subbed on in that first half after Declan Wynn went down after tripping over the ball, unfortunate. And it was Paul Hodges who was the first substitution of this one to come on. Here comes South Melbourne, though. Lampard tried to cross the ball in, and the ball's airborne once again. Painter Andrews and Andy Brennan connecting well. And it is going to go straight back to the goalkeeper of Harvey Lopez. South Melbourne as well. Going to get ready for this coming week. No NPL football to be played in the next weekend, I should say. It is a cup weekend. South Melbourne are going to be, both the men's and the women's sides will be taking on one of their big-time rivals, Heidelberg United, in both retrospective cups, the Doherty Cup final and the Nike FC Cup final as well. The good old rivalry, Hellas and Alexandros, will be an absolute cracker. The way that South Melbourne have definitely been playing. We did get a preview of it last week. South Melbourne did go up 1-0, and obviously the answer back from Heidelberg, equalising that one 1-1. Obviously cup conditions. South Melbourne would love to go back-to-back Doherty Cup champions, I'm almost sure of it. And definitely this new revitalised team as well. And obviously South Melbourne, Hellas and Alexandros, both in the Nike FC Cup as well. All just going to be played forwards. And it will be Eliopoulos and Noel Bonata. Instead, it will be a goalkeeper ball here for Brendan Koeman now.
Eliopoulos shielding the ball there like a true warrior. And all of a sudden, the chills in the air, Stefan, where before it wasn't so cold. Now, I can tell you what, you require a beanie and a jacket. but still beautiful conditions for football. South Melbourne now threatening to go forward, and they do, winning the ball. Ball played forward, and good defending once again by that man, Iliopoulos. Fantastic stuff. South Melbourne insisting now. Need to get some numbers in the box. Cleared away. Free kick, and I think that's fair enough too. Referee has had a pretty fluent game, hasn't really been too many harsh decisions other than the obvious, which was the penalty that was given to South Melbourne. People say it might be a little harsh. The letter of the law, though, says it wasn't. And the more clearer penalty was waved away. And let's not forget that Declan Wynn went down in the box also. But having looked at that on the replay, it seemed like he might have tripped over the ball. And he rolled, maybe he rolled his ankle over the ball. Ball into wide area now, and a chance for South Melbourne now. In the danger zone. Cut the ball in, twisting and turning. In the box, good save there by Camino. Got down nice and quick there. And it looks like going up one level at the moment here at Bob Janes Stadium. The only thing is that both teams have been a little bit sloppy with the ball, Stefan. Losing some vital time, losing it in vital times just when they can get the opening.
Yeah, definitely 100% right. It's almost been that kind of final sequence of plays. That's really where they've been losing the football, and that's definitely what's been costing both of these two sides. Definitely could have had a lot more goals on the scoreboard had they really completed some of those passes and really put the finishing touches on them. But then again, it's a funny old sport we play here, this round football. It never lies. And at the moment, the scoreboard isn't lying now as well. Both of these two teams, they want it badly. However, who's going to dig down deeper and claim victory? That's going to be another story entirely. Gully managing to walk away with the possession this time. Hallam. It's a foot race between Hallam and Marko Jankovic. He managed to walk away with the possession. Yanni Malides, our referee, not going to signal for any call there. Gully managing to walk away yet again with the possession. They're having to wait here because they are outnumbered by the South Melbourne defence. And you can just hear the frustration in the voice there of Yanni Luca Iannucci, visibly upset. And yet again, Gully just not managing to put and string together that final little bit of pass. Here's Kiffle though. Could third time be a charm here for Gully. Plays it nicely inside to Abdallah. Going to try and cross it in. A beautiful piece of goalkeeping there by Harvey Lopez. Managing to stick his body out. Keeping that ball from going into the netting. Here's Lockhead. Gully are on max attack here right now. And their opportunity will come to an end. A beautiful piece of defending there by South Melbourne, but it was definitely quite a big struggle there for Gully to try and string together that last pass. They managed to thread their way all the way up from one end of the pitch to the other. And they couldn't quite manage to make it all work. They tried to threaten Harvey Lopez in goal with a goal, but it wasn't to be. Can they do it on this occasion, though? Matthew Crooks to throw it in. Matthew Crooks, who's played in 17 games thus far this season for Gully, who's also had 1 goal as well this season. Here comes South, though. Nagamatsu. Off to Noel Bernarda. Going to play a beautiful ball here to Andy Brenner. It was a foot race between him and Joshua Heaton. Joshua Heaton, a former FC Melbourne Serbia player down in VPL 2. Had the privilege of calling some of those games last season. Called his name out a number of occasions. Really high quality defender. Now brought up into Green Gully. Also played for Westvale Olympic. That's Arthur Akratidis' old club as well. I'm learning a whole heap of information here about Arthur. I know you folks are as well. 2 championships, as I'm being told here as well. Could we have an opportunity here? Nagamatsu was directly under the football, and it is an offside call there for South Melbourne. So far, still 1-1 here. Not only does South Melbourne have a Doherty Cup game yet to come, they also still in the Australia Cup, through to the round of 16 after their 2-1 win over South Hobart. They were trailing 1-0 in that one. It was Andy Brenner and Noel Bernarda, the 2 goal scorers, putting South over the line in that one. South's next meeting, they're going to take on the semi-finalists of the A-League, who went down to Melbourne Victory in that exciting thriller in Auckland. They're going to take on Auckland FC here at Lakeside Stadium on Wednesday, the 13th of August. Kickoff will be at 7:30 p.m. A beautiful little piece of goalkeeping there by Harvey Lopez. Nunawading City as well. Their fairy tale continues after their very impressive 9-0 victory over the top team up in the NPL Northern Territory competition, the Darwin Olympic. They're going to take on Wellington Phoenix at Hume City Stadium, or as we know it down here at Nassau Stadium, Heidelberg United. They're going to take on the Western Sydney Wanderers at Olympic Village on Tuesday the 12th of August. Kickoff for that one will be at 7:30, and then Avondale will play APA Leichhardt, who are second in the NPL New South Wales competition. That location will still be decided. Those are the NPL Victorian teams. Both the A-League teams, Melbourne City and Melbourne Victory, suffering first round exits, surprisingly, Arthur. Very rare to see that your NPL teams are going further than the A-League teams.
I mean, let's face it, they've got second and third string teams in there. Just started their pre-season, but really they should be winning games against state league oppositions, premier, NPL opposition. And very surprising that both Melbourne City and Melbourne Victory are out of the cup. Makes it even more interesting. Chance now for Gully to try and thump it forward. The goalkeeper's come, and he's done very well. Some good sportsmanship there. Chance to play out, and that it's just been an absolute shambles as far as the last pass all the time, whether it be Green Gully going forward or South Melbourne, seems to be wasteful stuff from both sides. We've been playing 12 and a half minutes in this second half, and you'd have to say it's pretty even at the moment. Both goalkeepers have made some scrambling saves in this half from crosses, as Green Gully try and press South Melbourne. And South Melbourne now trying to evade the block. Thing is, been a little wasteful. And there's another example. And a free kick. And a card. First card for the day, I think. Who was that to? That looked like it was out to Heaton. Was it Heaton? Hodges. And in the end, it was fair enough. So Paul Hodges coming on for the injury to Wayne. Chance now for South Melbourne to try and handle and put Green Gully onto the back foot here. Big man Jake Marshall's gone up, as has Painter Andrews and Jankovic. Free kick taken. Tried to get the flick on. A wasted ball, really. Deep ball in the box. Still not out of the danger zone just yet. And a chance. Offside. Clearly there. Very lucky in the end, South Melbourne. And Green Gully are pressing and pressing hard. Almost got away with it then. Very unlucky. South Melbourne going forward, and in the end, Charlie Leach trying to let the ball go, thinking that Brennan was going to run onto it, but it's not the case. Deep ball into the box, and played to safety, only just. South Melbourne now. The numbers are back for the Cavaliers. Screaming, trying to find a way forward, South Melbourne. Brennan. Again, the last ball has really been quite frustrating for both sides. Green Gully trying to chisel their way forward. Again, that last ball again, Stefan.
As you said, Arthur, on multiple occasions, it's that last ball, the finishing touch, that has really troubled Green Gully as of late, along to its South Melbourne as well. I mean, both of these two sides just struggling to put the finishing touches on the cake on this one. They've had the opportunities. The balls have definitely come through, but either one of these two teams haven't seized any of their opportunities in any profound way at the moment. Who is going to be the one to blink first, though? At the moment, you can tell by the way that these two teams are playing, it is a very even game. Lockhead in the middle of the park. Going to thread it off to Kiffle, I should say, sorry. He's one-on-one with Painter Andrews. He's going to go in the direct same spot where he had his goal in that first half. And that time, Harvey Lopez pretty much expected it. And a good piece of goalkeeping as well. He's done an outstanding job all night, as he has done for his entire duration as a member of South Melbourne Hellas. Here's Lampard. Going to send it from side to side. Brennan, one-on-one with Hodges. Ended up getting a yellow card momentarily, moments ago. The only yellow card of this game, actually. Not too many that have been handed out. Yanni Malides, our referee here, hasn't been very hesitant on giving out too much. Been quite lenient. And to provide you with a little score update as well, it is still 2-0. Preston Lions leading that one against St Albans Dynamo at Churchill Reserve. Leighton Brooks, who kicked the very latest goal. And obviously Luke Francis kicking the opener in the 12th minute, giving Preston that 1-0 lead. Over here at Lakeside Stadium, things are definitely getting spicy between these two. It is 10th South Melbourne playing 8th place Green Gully. South Melbourne sitting on 27 points. If they were to win, they would be up to 30 and really close in on that 6th place that we've been speaking about quite a lot. Obviously 2 rounds to go after this one, as there might be a chance here for South Melbourne. And not quite on that occasion. The ball riffled off the decking. And a really good save there by Brandon Kumanow. Both goalkeepers have definitely been locked in this one. Harvey Lopez for South and Brandon Kumanow for Gully. A really top quality saving for both of the goalkeepers. Brandon Kumanow, actually, he is the second goalkeeper. He's replacing Liam Driscoll, who went down last week in that 2-2 draw against St Albans Dynamo. Ball is up from the corner. Will be Marko Jankovic to thread it back. Could this be a shot for the captain? And denied once again by the goalkeeper, Brandon Kumanow. Once again, superb saving by Brandon Kumanow there. Brandon Kumanow, a former Northcote City player and Yarraville player in State League 1. Hasn't played too many games for Gully. One of the players that was brought in the mid-season transfer. And at the moment, he's definitely proving his point on why he should be playing in the NPL competition. He's had some really tough balls come his way and he's managed to save every one of them. Nutmeg there by Crooks. No, Nagamatsu was brought down by Joshua Heaton. So, about 21-ish minutes into this second half, both of these two teams have definitely settled into this one. What have your initial thoughts been of this game so far, Arthur?
Well, it's been end-to-end, really. It's been very enjoyable, but the only thing is the quality of the last pass and the finishing have been a little bit to be desired. But both sides are trying to play football, and that's the good thing about the situation at the moment. As South Melbourne try and chisel their way forward. Deep ball, and a wasted ball at that. No one running in. Vision of that ball. Menelao trying to do something there, and Payne Andrews coming off, and Dovison and Spink both coming on for South Melbourne. And I think Brennan might be the other one. Leach, Charlie Leach. Chance now for some new blood for South Melbourne, and I think there's also Mezzaruni's coming on too. Brennan off. He looked a bit ginger on that last run of his. So Andreas Mezzaruni also on. Chance to try and create some havoc in the forward line. Mezzaruni. throw. I'll tell you what, some of these throwing look very, very calamitous at best. Very surprised they haven't been pulled up for a foul throw. And the referee's given a Green Gully throw. Another cheerio to all the boys from my side, which I'm invested in, Stefan and Chisholm United, who had a 0-0 draw against the Casey Comets on Friday night. Quite an exciting game. Both goalkeepers being outstanding for both the sides. And in the end, share of the spoils as we're waiting for things to occur here at Bob Janes Stadium. 0 goals this half, 1-1, and as Stefan said, lack of chances so far in the first 25 minutes of this half. What can happen here? A deep ball into the box. A very deep ball. Lopez mops up. Runners going forward. And he's decided to go play the ball out. Gone are the days of that long kick to Sawyer. He's having some success at MacArthur FC. Long throw. Ball played. Dovison trying to mop up there. The clearance was good. Game is waiting for something to happen here. And it might take something special to occur. Solid work here. Great work down that far side. Ball across the box. Still in the danger zone. And in the end, mopped up nicely and cleared away. Really, chances gone begging on both sides. It's been very wasteful with possession here, both sides at times. As Iliopoulos tries to marshal his troops. He's asking for it again. Not scared to go forward when need be. And a chance now for Green Gully. Flag stayed down. Ball across the box, and again, not the greatest ball. Bit of slip sliding here. Shot gone wide. Deep ball, back post, cleared away. The shots, and Lopez safe into the arms there, Stefan.
Very much so. A good sequence of play there by Green Gully, especially by Amir Abdallah, the former Hume City player, making and creating somewhat of an opportunity there for Green Gully. In the meantime, Preston Lions have scored yet another goal. They currently lead that one 3-0 against St Albans Dynamo. It is Jonas Markovski who scored moments ago, giving them that 3-0 lead. And another couple substitutions coming on here. And that will be Dor Jock coming on for Hallam. Along to the other one, it will be Ryan Inman coming on for Gianluca Iannucci. So Casper Hallam coming off along to with Gianluca Iannucci, and on will come Ryan Inman and Dor Jock, both of those two players that did make the start last week against St Albans Dynamo, who are playing right now. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of impact they have. And already we can see Gully trying to really catch South Melbourne off guard. Ball still in play here on this near side. Leach thought about passing the ball everywhere, and it was Lockhead bringing Leach down, and the second yellow card of the evening being awarded to Scott Lockhead, I should say. So we're just going to wait for Charlie Leach here. Meanwhile, a little bit of information. Dor Jock, who's a former Melbourne Knight in 2021 and a Port Melbourne Shark in 2023. Also a former A-League player. Played for the Central Coast Mariners back in 2021 and 2023. Was also part of the 2022-2023 Central Coast Mariners A-League Championship squad. Scored his first goal actually for Green Gully against Melbourne Victory back in round 21. He's played in 4 games thus far for Gully. Ryan Munn, also another sub from Birmingham, England. Former Kingston City player down in the VPL 1 competition. Scored his debut goal against Altona Magic as well. So a couple of goal scorers coming on for Green Gully. Almost feel like putting in those players, trying to give them some type of help up forwards. But as Arthur said, it's been that final finishing touch that hasn't really connected, and there's no point putting on a couple goal scorers if you can't connect with a final pass and really give that striker or player, whoever it is in front of the goal, that opportunity if you can't connect with it. So it's going to be Hodges to throw it in directly in front of the South Melbourne bench. Off to Lockhead. Ball's played forwards, and instead it's Marshall who's just going to kick that one out of play. At the moment, not too much intensity out there on the pitch between these two. About the halfway mark of this second half. This is generally when you'd want to try and really punch forwards. Gully once again to go. Forwards off. Inside. Going to play it off to Kiffle. Kiffle who lost the ball. And instead it's Joshua Hope who's just going to retreat back. Who had Menelau being a menace right behind him, not giving him any breathing space. Let's see who's going to be the first team to blink here in this second half. Nagamatsu is the only South Melbourne player up forwards for that one. And look at all the space right in the middle of the park here for South. Going to play it out to Charlie Leach, who hasn't had too bad of a game here this evening. Could have definitely been much better. Referee's not going to call anything there with that Jordan Lampard slip up. Here comes Crooks now for Gully. They've got the numbers. Can they convert something? Here's Gully. Could this be a shot and really convert something here? Possibly put some scoreboard pressure for South. And that one isn't going to be anything. And you can see and hear the boos coming from the fans on the pavilion side. But nothing called there for Jordan Lampard, Arthur Akratides. What are your thoughts on that one?
I'll tell you what, it was a 50-50 ball and might have been a free kick, but obviously the referee was there. He didn't seem to want to give it. I wouldn't mind seeing that back over again, but my initial thoughts it was a free kick, but the referee was quite adamant it was play on. 12 minutes left on the clock of normal time. And you'd have to say we'll have about 3 or 4 minutes of normal extra time as well. Referee not making any friends here at Bob Jones Stadium with any of the sides, actually. But he's been solid, I must admit. He's decided what he wanted, and there's no two ways about it. A bit of slipping and sliding here, and I'm kind of wondering why they watered the pitch before the game on a colder day. If I could understand if it was a warm day, but not on a colder day like today. I mean, it's not cold, but it wasn't actually a summer's day either. Hence a bit of slipping and sliding. Again, that last ball there, letting themselves down here. Jock trying to get the ball forward. He's done so. Plenty of time here to get a result for both sides. And goal kick, no, it's a corner. And chance now for Green Gully to find a way forward here. Can they get something from this corner? Iliopoulos has gone up. Deep ball. Not a person in sight there. Goalkeeper's come all the way. Can he get it back into the mix? And a good run off there. Jocks from the shot across goal. And that is inches wide. It looked like Lopez was a little bit to his left too. And in the end, Jock somehow misses. And now South Melbourne are forward. Oh, Jock found himself onside there. Certainly not offside. Saw him score some good goals for Port Melbourne. Chance now for South Melbourne to go forward. Twisting and turning. Running off the ball here. And in the end, was looking for a run through there. And no one really read the play. Ticking away here. Precious moments. 8 minutes. He's had a good game as Caminano, the goalkeeper. Coming in for Driscoll, the stalwart of Green Gully. And again, pushed away. The last ball there, just not weighted enough. Good defending. Chance now. And again, it just seems the same errors are made from both sides.
You are 100% correct, Arthur. It has been virtually this real factor between both of these teams, is that they just can't put that finishing touch inside up, forwards ahead of the football. They're building up the sequence of play really well, but it's just the conclusion of it to try and really set themselves up beautifully in front of goal just hasn't been there. And this is sometimes you can see why these teams are where they are on the table. If they were to come up against a much stronger side, say a Preston Lions or an Oakley or a Dandenong Thunder, they will definitely be capitalising on those opportunities. And one final substitution coming on. Shifa Ahmed will be coming on for Elion Kiffel. Elion Kiffel, the only goal scorer for Green Gully in this one. A beautiful goal it was in that first half, managing to curl the ball from outside the box around Harvey Lopez. That'll be his day done and dusted. On will come Shifa Ahmed. Shifa Ahmed, a former Western United VPL 1 player, played 7 games for them. Now playing for Green Gully. Let's see what impact he can make on this one. Can he possibly add a little finishing touch that Green Gully needs? Lampard struggled to kick it away. And the ball will go all the way back off to Harvey Lopez. Eliopoulos, former Oakley Cannon. Abdallah playing the ball beautifully off to his teammate. Here's Joshua Hope in the middle of the park. Ball's played back off to Hodges, and you almost feel that they're kind of second-guessing themselves right now at Green Gully. They're almost somewhat afraid to keep going forwards. Here's Lockhead in quite literally a sandwich of Hellas players. He was squashed right in the middle of him. He couldn't have anywhere to go. There was no path out. Ended up losing possession of it. It has been troublesome for both of these two teams. Could this be an opportunity? And once again, the ball will be kicked away. The next game for Green Gully, they're going to take on the Preston Lions next Friday, the 15th, or actually I should say the following Friday, the 15th of August, 7:30 p.m. at Green Gully Reserve. That will be an absolute cracker. One more substitution coming on. Lucas Inglese will be coming on for Ren Nagamatsu. Both of the goal scorers in this game, that's their days done and dusted. Elion Kiffel, that was his day done and dusted moments ago. And now Ren Nagamatsu, the only goal scorer for South Melbourne. He's out on the bench, will be replaced by Lucas Inglese. Another one of South Melbourne's key players. In South Melbourne's next home game, they're going to take on Avondale, who had a very, very impressive win against the top table Heidelberg United at home at Avenger Park last night. That game will take place on Sunday, the 17th of August. Kickoff will be at 5 p.m. right here at Lakeside Stadium. I'm sure that one will be a thriller. Avondale playing some very, very impressive football. Probably one of the best NPL teams, not only here in Victoria, but dare I say in the country. They had a very impressive victory in the Australia Cup, a 5-1 win over Stirling Macedonia in the round of 32. Very high quality players playing over there in Avondale. Talk about the likes of Manny Agwek, Luca Tavir, Stefan Zinni, Aidan Bryce as well, who was named the Player of the Month for Football Victoria here. Had the privilege of calling the game last week against Altona, and you can definitely tell why. The man is a genius in that back third, doing such a great job. Almost had a goal he did in that one from a free kick set shot from well outside the box, managing to just creep in behind the lines. But at the moment, things still stand one apiece here at Lakeside. And if these two teams want any chance at playing finals, one of them needs to convert. And who will it be? Here's Gully's chance. Forwards. And that one's no good. Harvey Lopez, he's had a field day. Managing to deflect almost every ball, apart from the one. Here's Abdallah. Could this be a chance? Jock, who's being pressured heavily by Menelau. And it's Marko Jankovic managing to kick it out of harm's way. And that time, Yanni Malides, our referee, will call that one. And you can hear the fans visibly upset. Ryan Inman being called on that occasion. Here's Pope. Plays it forwards to Dovison, who also made the start last week for South. So Arthur hasn't really been the cleanest of matches here today. And you can clearly see why these two teams are where they are on the table.
I'll tell you what, the referees hasn't been very popular this half, especially from the South Melbourne faithful. Claims for a free kick there, and again, not given. And Green Gully trying to utilise their new avenues forward. A wasted ball there from South Melbourne. A chance now. Good work there to win the ball. Far side of the ground. Is something special going to happen here? Half a minute left of normal time. I'd say there'd be about 4 to 5 minutes of extra time to go. South Melbourne, an opening here, and a silly way going forward. Wasted again, and that's been the story of today's play in general. And 5 minutes of extra time, counting down from now. 5 minutes is plenty of time for a result here. Switch of play. Chance now. South Melbourne. And ball played wide. South Melbourne throw got a deflection from the Gully defender. And chance now. Can something happen here? Haven't really done much going forward, South Melbourne, in this half. Or something useful for that matter. Twisting and turning. Good pirouette there, but lost the ball. And now Green Gully go forward. And good work there by Lopez. And the throw. What will happen here? The referee has allowed play to go on. And the chance now, offside, given. Stefan, ticking away, son. What do you think?
Time is definitely ticking away, Arthur, that's for sure. And I don't think it'll be the best 5 minutes out there for both of these two teams out there on the pitch. And they've been struggling all night to really string that last pass together. It definitely won't be an easy night in the office, or an easy time in the office, I should say. And you spoke about a little bit of magic. Which team can provide it? I mean, we did see it earlier on with the senior women's managing to convert a goal in the last minute of added time. Alana Byrne managing to give South Melbourne a 1-0 win against the Preston Lions. However, I think some of that magic might have dissipated from then to now. This is a very different game to that one. Could this be one last roll of the dice here for South Melbourne? Could it be? Oh, oh boy, was that close. You would have heard the biggest cheer and the biggest uproar from the Hellas fans on the pavilion side. The cheer would have echoed right around Lakeside Stadium and straight into the night. But unfortunately, not to be on that occasion. Probably the closest South Melbourne have gotten to a chance. Jock was in pursuit of it. Who's going to be under the football? It was Mezzarini. Eliopoulos bringing down Lucas Inglese. And the ball will go South's way. And you can hear the fans The intensity has kicked up. That 12th man. Could that be what helps South prevail over the line? Even though it is cold up here in the stands, Arthur Akratides and myself, we are freezing and shivering. You can't but help really be in awe of the heat that's happening right there on the pitch. Both of these two teams, they want to win. They want the 3 points. However, it looks to be that they are going to be sharing points at the moment, unless one of them can try and do the unthinkable. Gully going to try and go on the counter-attack here. Ball's on that far side. And it'll be South's ball, and they're going to go fast here. They're not going to wait whatsoever. Who's going to be the first to blink here? Could this be another opportunity for Gully? And Gully have really resorted to those long passes all evening, almost praying that one of their teammates would be ahead of the football and will just manage to connect with a pass and follow through all the way to the goal. But that very much hasn't been the case here this evening. And that will be full time here at Lakeside Stadium. Both of these two teams, they needed a win to try and keep their finals hopes alive. And you just know that it is a very, very slim chance for both of these two teams to get into the finals. Arthur, what did you make of that one?
Well, in the end, I think it was a fair result. Both teams played some attractive football, especially in the first half. Second half, you know, Green Gully may be a little bit better, but South Melbourne had the biggest chance of the game that just missed that far post. And ultimately, 1-1 here, and it puts a rest to South Melbourne's hopes of making finals. A very slim chance they had. I think it's over now, and Green Gully may be still alive, only just. But thank you for being with us here this evening for a game that I'm sure had some great highlights for you. And don't forget next week's final, South Melbourne versus Heidelberg, both in the men's and the women's at the House of the Matildas. No doubt we'll have the game for you live here on YouTube. And also, don't forget, 2 more rounds to go till the end of the season. So once again, thank you, and we'll see you next week.